worldwide on italk1067.com.
Senior number 23, Alondra Ramirez.
Welcome, everybody. We are live from Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum for the 3A State Girls Championship. It doesn't get any bigger than this, as I'm Aaron Hewish, joined by Mel, our producer, Jeff, our cameraman, and Randall Anselmo, and we get set for our game tonight, and this is your Summit Regional Medical Center pregame injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back to the game. And Randall, we have a couple big ones tonight. As we notice, we do have a PAYSON player on crutches, but the big loss tonight is going to be number 24 for the Snowflake Lobos, and that is Renelle West.
Yeah, I understand that she had a bad injury in one of the games coming into the state playoffs, and that was an ACL. Is that correct?
I've been told ACL and MCL, so that's going to be huge. It's going to be a little bit of an advantage inside by Payson, but nonetheless, the last two games, the Lobos have relied on Haley Westover and Bryn Kupfer to get in there and do the damage, and there's been nothing and no steps missed as the Lobos have made it. But as we move forward, we're going to go from our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back to the game. We're going to go to our ACE hardware keys to the game. Anytime you're locked out of your car, just need a key made any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call ACE Hardware in Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. And Randall, both teams have made it here, but last night we had one of the most incredible comebacks we have ever seen in high school basketball. With a minute 35 left in the third quarter, I believe the Payson Longhorns were down 21 to the number 1 seeded Chinle Wildcats, and not only came back, but came back and won the game in dramatic fashion.
And I had heard that. I had heard that they were chasing 21 points, and that is outstanding for the Payson Longhorns to be able to come back from a deficit that deep and be able to come back and then win the game by 2 points. Outstanding. Congratulations to the Payson Longhorns for that.
Both teams have made it, and kind of familiar foes, even though they're not in the same region anymore. The Lobos against the Longhorns, something we've seen time and time again in almost every sport that we play. So we're going to go ahead, folks. This is our Ace Hardware pregame show. Ace Hardware is a 24/7 locksmith. Anytime you're locked out of your car or need a key made any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back, everybody. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com is the 3A State Championship, Girls Championship, set to get underway here at Veterans Memorial Coliseum. As I'm Aaron Hughes, joined by Randall Anselmo, Mel West, our producer, Jeff, our cameraman, and we are excited about this one to bring you some state championship basketball action. Redford, Sarnowski, DeShafe, Whaley are the starting, and Ramirez, starting 5 for the Longhorns. Denhalter, Hancock, Hips, Kupfer, and Denhalter for the Lobos as Kupfer is going to jump against DeShafe, and there's it off, and the Lobos control it. Kennedy Stewart over on the far side. Lobos come out in their white uniforms, blue and black outline. Longhorns come out in their familiar purples. As the ball goes now to Kupfer at the top of the key. Kupfer back over to Hips, Hips on the near side. Lobos going from left to right, obviously right to left for the Payson Longhorns. Payson comes out in their purple uniforms adorned in white with gray stripes as we have a throw, ball out of bounds, and that's going to be to the Longhorns as the Lobos are going to put on some pressure, as Hancock puts on some pressure, as Sarnowski going to bring up the ball. Sarnowski crosses over the time stripe. Back to number 13. Number 13 is Whaley to Ramirez. Ramirez back over to Sarnowski, working off the screen from DeShafe. Inside middle, DeShafe, that's going to be no good. Rebound, Kupfer. Kupfer looks for the ball, now she gives it to Hips. Nicole Hips bringing up the ball, the senior for the Snowflake Lobos. Hips guarded by Ramirez. Hips barking out orders to her team. Now over to Hancock. Hancock looking inside for Denhalter. Now over to Stewart. Stewart, three-point shot. No good. Rebound is Hancock. Hancock puts it up. She's going to get fouled on the arm. As we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. And that's going to be the first team foul for the Payson Longhorns. As Taylor Hancock, the junior, is going to go to the line to shoot a couple.
It looked like 13 on that foul there.
They're going to call that one on Whaley. Hancock gets the first points of this championship game underway. Nice little setting here. It's Veterans Memorial Coliseum, home, I believe, 1968 to 1992 to the Phoenix Suns, and since then has served its purpose as a cultural event. The AI adopted it as the home court for these state championship games over about the last 8 or so years. As Sarnowski with the ball. Sarnowski at the free throw line, now to Whaley. Whaley drives, and it's going to be inside to DeShafe. DeShafe, no good. Rebound. Denhalter of the Lobos. Denhalter now back to Hips, as Hips is going to bring the ball over as the guard. Hips crosses over the time stripe in the middle. Hips now goes to the 28-foot line, now to the near side. Hips over to Stewart. Stewart brings it back to the middle. Stewart drives the lane. Stewart puts up a left-handed jumper. That one's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be Hips. Hips is going to get her own rebound. That's going to be no good. And there's going to be a whistle. We're going to jump ball. And that is going to go to the Payson Longhorns. 2-0 Lobos lead. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first quarter from Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Now, Randall, one thing I want to ask as Payson brings up the ball here is this setting, it is the big stage. It's Veterans Memorial Coliseum at State. But these two teams playing in the leagues that they played in, there's a turnover by the Longhorns, and Stewart's going to have it. These teams have played in the big stage up in northern Arizona for a lot of years in the arenas at Ganado, Chinle, even Monument Valley, as well as Window Rock.
Correct. And this isn't This is a little bit bigger stage. You know, I mean, it's
a state championship.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can put a lot more fans in here, but this isn't really out of their comfort zone.
As there is a pass from Stewart over to Hips, and Hips puts it up and gives the Lobos a very quick 4-0 lead as a nice give and go. It is the big stage, it's the biggest stage, but what I guess I'm getting at is this big arena and the spread open spaces are nothing new to these girls. As DeShafe has it knocked away, she gets it herself. Now DeShafe gives it over to Whaley. Whaley, three-point shot. That's going to be no good, and the rebound is going to kick around, fall down. It's going to belong to Stewart, and Stewart is going to travel with it. Payson's going to get the ball back, and Coach Brogan giving her a little bit of instruction there. And what I mean, Randall, is the wide open arena space, a little bit of the dead zone. Both these teams are used to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And some of the sound effects,
as we're getting a whistle, we're getting an offensive foul. That's going to go against, I wanted to say it was 20. Folks, we do not have on the scoreboard, we do not have individual fouls, and the table is away from us, so we're strictly going off the numbers from the officials, and it is a little bit difficult to see. As Lobos inbound the ball, the inbound is to Hips. Hips now over to Stewart. Back to Hips. Hips over to Denhalter. Denhalter drives, and she's going to have it stolen, but we're going to get a foul on the Longhorns as Whaley, I believe, is going to get called for that. And that's going to be Whaley's second personal, as Coach Chaz Davis and his 16-2 regular season record Longhorns are down a little bit in the foul count here as Hips gets the ball. Hips guarded by Redford. Hips now over to Stewart. Stewart back to Denhalter. Denhalter at the three-point line in the corner. Denhalter looks, now back to Stewart, 24 on the shot clock. Now to Hancock. Over to Kupfer. Kupfer takes a step, but Kupfer is going to lift up that foot, and she is going to travel as well. That's going to be a turnover for the Snowflake Lobos. Turnovers, something that can get both of these teams, and I think the turnover battle, Randall, is what is going to win this game.
If they can control their turnovers or capitalize on the opponent's turnovers, that's going to work in their best
As Snowflake
interest.
gets a turnover from the Longhorns, that's going to go out. There's Kennedy Stewart for 3 points. That's going to be no good. Rebound is Denhalter. Denhalter now backs, dribbles out. Denhalter now kicks it out to Hips. Hips is going to put up a three. That is going to be no good. It's going to ring around. Rebound, Kupfer. Kupfer puts it up and in for the Lobos. 2 points, Bryn Kupfer, the sophomore for the Snowflake Lobos. As here's Sarnowski. Sarnowski brings the ball. She crosses over the time start. Sarnowski now to the middle, now to Ramirez. Ramirez brings it back to the middle herself, and over to Whaley. Whaley puts up an NBA range three-point shot. That's going to be no good. Rebound goes to Taylor Hancock. And I was talking with our producer, Mel, before the game, and Taylor Hancock and her play has been something that has been phenomenal for the Lobos. As Denhalter goes up, she's whistled, and there is a foul. As we like to see the Payson boys baseball team, Randall, trickling in, coming to support these girls, and that's just something you love to see. They're probably in the midst of a tournament down here. They're here in uniform supporting their team.
It's great to see everything. Payson even brought their band down to play during the
timeout.
Dead ball sessions. Yep.
Westover's going to check in for the Lobos, as well as Hatch, and I believe that is McDowell. 4 minutes and 16 seconds left. 6-0, the Lobos up. Denhalter missed her first one. Second free throw by Denhalter is no good. Rebound Kennedy Stewart, as we're going to get a whistle, and Kennedy's going to travel again, as she did take a step before that alternating possession was going to take place. 6-0 Lobos, 4 minutes and 14 seconds left. Payson desperately needing to get on the board to start this game, although the Lobos haven't done them or not too many favors themselves, as Ramirez brings the ball over the time stripe. Payson has about an 8-man rotation. Snowflake uses about 8 to 9 of a rotation. We'll start to see some of those. As there's Ramirez. Ramirez throws it away. It's intended for Sarnowski and is stolen by Hancock. However, Ramirez gets it back. Now to Sarnowski. Sarnowski's going to drive. She's going to put the ball up. That's going to be blocked. We're going to whistle, and we are going to get a foul, as that is on the arm, as we're going to go to the line, and I believe that, it's Sarnowski is going to shoot a couple for the Longhorns. 6-0, 3 minutes and 52 seconds left as Sarnowski is at the line. Sarnowski looks, her first free throw is good. As that puts the Payson Longhorns on the board, as the score is actually reversed up top if you look at it. They have it backwards right now. As rebound, free throw is no good, rebound. as Hips almost carries it. Now Hips is going to bring it down. She gets stuck in the corner, dishes it off to Westover. Westover looking back to Nicole Hips. Nicole Hips drives about a 13-foot jumper. That's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be Ramirez. Here come the Longhorns down 6-1. Sarnowski crosses over the middle.
Well, you know, Huey, they did have the mascots on the right side, but they didn't switch the scores over yet.
That's what I'm wondering. We'll get it figured out as we know it's 6-1, as there's a miss. Hancock with another rebound, monster rebound, as Denhalter's going to put up a three-point shot now. That's going to be no good. It's going to be fought for. Sarnowski's going to get it, and here comes Sarnowski and the Longhorns. Sarnowski dribbles to the middle, just past the free throw line. Sends it to McDowell. McDowell now out to Ramirez. Ramirez over to Redford. Redford brings it back to the middle to McDowell over on the near side in front of the Lobo bench. Now to Ramirez. Ramirez brings it back up. Top of the key to Sarnowski at the 28-foot line. Sarnowski guarded by Hancock. Working off a screen from Hatch. Sarnowski passes it. It's going to be intercepted. Bounce pass, no good. Hips. Hips moves it forward to Stewart. Stewart stops. She puts up a three, and we're going to get a whistle. And we're going to get a foul as Redford is going to be called, and that's going to put the senior Kennedy Stewart at the line to shoot 3 free throws, and man, I love that. I remember when that came out, I was about 10 years old, 11 years old. When you used to get fouled, Randall, you went to the line and shot 2 if you were fouled on a 3.
Yeah, yep.
And they changed that probably about the time you started officiating.
It's 31 years ago, yep.
As
been a long time.
As Stewart misses her first one, 6-1, Lobos on top of the Longhorns. 2 minutes and 43 seconds left. Kennedy Stewart's second free throw is good. 2 minutes and 43 seconds left, 7-1. The Snowflake Lobos on top of the Payson Longhorns. With our reverse scoreboard, we have to kind of get you folks with that because we do have the score on our thing and it is a little different right now. Stewart's next free throw is good. She's 2 out of 3. As we get a whistle and we get a timeout, this is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
We have President's Day pricing all month long here at Horn Auto Center. And great deals like this Chevy Silverado with up to $10,850 off and 2.4% APR. Or this Chevy Colorado. All 2024 Colorados have up to $5,100 off and 1.9% APR on approved credit. So come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back, Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Snowflake Lobos up with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left on the Payson Longhorns with a lead to start this first quarter as the Longhorns inbound the ball. Ramirez to Redford. Redford, this is stolen away by Hancock. Hancock picks the pocket. Call the police because there's a thief on the court. As Hancock picks the pocket and throws it right up back and in. As now Redford crosses over the time stripe, she goes to Ramirez on the far side. Lobos up 10-1. As now Sarnowski guarded by Hancock. Sarnowski now over to McDowell. McDowell drives the lane. McDowell wide open. And we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a blocking foul as I don't think Stewart had legal guarding position. So we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul, and that's going to put McDowell at the line to shoot a couple.
McDowell shooting 2.
McDowell's first free throw is no good. 10-1. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left here in the first period. Lobos are on top as DeShafe checks back in for the Payson Longhorns. DeShafe critical in that first round game we covered against the Holbrook Roadrunners did an absolutely fantastic job, as McDowell's next free throw is no good. And they're gonna be a fight, and we're gonna get Redford almost going for the rebound. It's gonna be knocked out right in front of the Snowflake bench, as now Payson's gonna bring on the pressure for these Lobos. Stewart is to inbound. Stewart throws a long court pass to Westover. As Westover takes it, Westover now, we're gonna get a whistle, we're gonna get a foul. As Westover, and if that's on Whaley, they are not. They're calling that on Redford. I thought they'd put up a 1-3, not just a 3. That would have been Whaley's third, but Payson avoids it there, as Westover's going to go to the line, because we are in the double, it's not the double bonus, it's just the bonus now. As Westover goes to the line, Haley Westover. Good first free throw. The Snowflake senior, as Kendall Hatch checking back in the game. Hatch came in and played a pivotal role in that Holbrook game as well. And these Longhorns making quick work of a very good Holbrook squad that night, as Westover's second free throw is good. Payson inbounds the ball, Sarnowski with it. Sarnowski being guarded by Hancock. Sarnowski now driving the lane, guarded by Hancock. Hancock with a little push, it goes off Sarnowski's foot. Gathered in by Ramirez of the Longhorns, guarded by Stewart. Over to Whaley. Whaley stepped out on by Denhalter, back to Sarnowski. Sarnowski a few feet in front of the half-court line, and Sarnowski brings it out to the near side. Back to the middle of the court. Sarnowski now has an open driving lane. She puts it up. That's going to be no good. The rebound's going to be fought for. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a jump ball, as the ball, I believe, is going to go back to the Snowflake Lobos, according to the alternating possession, as Stewart is going to inbound. Payson is going to put on the pressure here. Down 12-1 with 1:38 left. The ball inbound to Hips. Hips back to Stewart. Stewart now drives the other side, and we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a travel. That is Kennedy Stewart's third travel of the quarter. And 3 travels, Randall, equals 3 turnovers.
And again, they've got to control their turnovers. They've got to control those turnovers. It's just going to be mad if they start capitalizing on those.
Sarnowski drives the lane. She is going to miss an open layup. I'm not going to say wide open, as now here come the Lobos. Westover sends it down to Hancock. Kennedy Stewart's going to put up a long three-pointer. That's going to be good! Kennedy Stewart at Comfort Fit Dentures. 3-point shot for the Snowflake Lobos. They lead it 15-1. Sarnowski with the ball for the Payson Longhorns. Sarnowski into Whaley. Whaley guarded by Denhalter. Whaley's going to put up. That one's going to be in. Whaley, 2 points. A desperately needed 2 points for the Payson Longhorns. Here come the Lobos back as Hips gets the ball over the time stripe. Hips now drives the lane. She shoots about a 9-foot jumper. It's going to be good. Nicole Hips, the senior, puts it in for 2, as this has been a quarter of the Lobos.
And here come the Snowflake Lobos. They are going to run the floor.
As we're getting a whistle, we're getting a foul. That's going to be Sarnowski's second trip to the line tonight, as the foul is going to be on number 1, which is Raya Denhalter. 17-3 here, and Randall, I hate to say this because it is so early in this ball game, but the fact that they came back last night, as Sarnowski's free throw is no good, you've got to understand that Payson probably has in their head, hey, it's okay, we can make this up, we can do this. But this is a Lobo team that does not give up a lead that often.
No, they don't. And
Sarnowski's second free throw is good.
And the Snowflake Lobos are, I would almost put money that Mike told these girls, hey, let's make no mistake. Let's get out there, let's raise that score up, and let's not give them an opportunity to try to come back into this ball game.
Well, that's just Coach Brogan's coaching style, and we've seen it time and time again. As we still haven't talked about how they're missing their big man in the middle, Raynell West. As Nicole Hips goes to the line, as she puts up her first free throw is good.
And that's an unfortunate situation that player is not able to take the court. But these girls have rallied together. They have rallied together, and they've come together, and they're doing everything it takes to try to get this win for the team and for her.
Sarnowski's going to put up a long three-pointer, and that is no good. The rebound, Westover flies in and grabs the rebound as she came out of nowhere to grab that rebound. Ball now to Stewart. Stewart now throws it away, and It doesn't get thrown away as Westover comes and grabs it back to Hancock. Hancock over to Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy fakes the three, drives, and she has it knocked away by Ramirez. Here come the Longhorns. Ramirez back to Sarnowski. Sarnowski bringing it over the time stripe. Long half-court shot, no good. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we get set to start the second quarter. And in the first quarter, the Snowflake Lobos, 19 points in the first quarter, Randall. Thoughts on the first quarter?
The Snowflake Lobos are not playing around. They want to take the gold home today. I'm not taking nothing away from Payson, by all means, but Snowflake means business.
And what I've seen, Randall, is with the absence of West, which they had the absence of West yesterday, what I've seen the same type of game. We just had players stepping up, and we see that at Kupfer and Westover. As Payson's going to inbound the ball right in front of our bench, Ramirez is going to inbound the ball. She's guarded by Kennedy Stewart of the Snowflake Lobos. That is Alondra Ramirez with the ball. As we get set, second quarter action. We got to get our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off to the college with the lowest tuition in the state, now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College. We appreciate them and all our sponsors. Sarnowski drives the lane. Sarnowski over to Whaley. We're going to have a whistle, and we're going to have an offensive foul on the Payson Longhorns. And I'm not sure. I think Coach Brogan thought that was called on them because he had one of those looks, but Coach Brogan always has those looks.
He does. He does. But I thought that was a great call by that official. It looked like she had great guarding position.
As these officials are selected from the officials statewide, and those that are eligible and the best get chosen for these games, we appreciate them and all they do. If you are interested, go to AIAonline.org and become an official. As Kupfer drives, it's going to be knocked out of bounds, but I think Kupfer, no, they say Kupfer did not knock it out of bounds. Randall, I thought she almost grabbed her own shot.
She did, and it was knocked out of her hand, and she tried to reach out, but I think she realized that it was touched by Payson, and they ended up giving it back to Snowflake.
Ball is inbound. It ends up in the hands of Kupfer. Kupfer now hands it over to Westover. Westover drives. Now she backs out, dribbling the ball. She gives it to Taylor Hancock. Hancock guarded by Ramirez. As Hancock gets the ball, she scoops it back up. Now Hancock about 28-foot line. Now over to the far side to Bryn Kupfer. Kupfer's looking, 11 on the shot clock. Kupfer now to Hips. Hips looking, as Hips is going to try to take a drive. Hips goes to left to right. Now over to Hancock. Hancock's going to throw up a desperation. That's going to be no good. Whaley's going to rebound it for the Payson Longhorns. 6 minutes and 56 seconds left. Snowflake up 19-4 on the Payson Longhorns as Whaley puts up a long three. That's going to be a comfort. Fit Dentures three-pointer. Whaley in the Payson Longhorns desperately needed a fire lit under him, and that cuts the lead to 12 as Whaley knocks that down. Now here's Hips guarded by Sarnowski. Number 10 guarded by number 10. As now Hips goes, looks inside to Kupfer. Kupfer's going to put up a jump shot. It's going to be contested by DeShape. DeShape gets a piece of it. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul on Kupfer. as the tables are kind of shifting here at Veterans Memorial Coliseum, as Denhalter now checks in for Kupfer. And again, folks, we can't see a very good vantage of who's calling these fouls. They don't have it on the board, so we're doing our best here tonight. Is we're going to get a whistle, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go out of bounds and belong to the Snowflake Lobos. As Payson inbounded that ball, and it was not touched, so it's going to go back underneath. Now, Randall, that's standard operating procedure. When that ball's not touched and it goes out of bounds, it goes back to the original point, correct?
That is correct,
as
yes.
Westover gets it, and it's going to stay as Whaley knocks it out of bounds. Whaley knocking down that huge Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer, as Payson really tightening up the defense. Hips to inbound, Hips to Stewart. Stewart over to her left, now to Hips. Back to the middle, top of the key to Hancock. Over on the near side to Stewart. Stewart drifting back to the middle, now to Hips. Hips goes left to right. Now she spins, comes back in. She puts up a jump shot. That's going to be no good as that rings in and out for Hips. As here come the Longhorns, down 12, looking to cut that lead to single digits. As Sarnowski drives, Sarnowski over to DeShafe. DeShafe puts it up and in. That's going to be good. Whistle and the foul. As DeShafe's going to go to the line to shoot one. As her shot was good. A chance for a three-point play for her.
This is what I'm waiting for right here. I'm waiting for this young lady to bring us some stats so we can get some of these fouls caught up for you guys.
DeShafe's free throw is no good. Rebound Westover. Westover now to Hips as Payson backs up a little bit. Now Hips bringing it over, guarded by Sarnowski to her right. She goes over to the corner to Stewart. Stewart now brings it out of the corner. Corner on the near side. Now to Hancock. Hancock working off a screen. Hancock puts it up, and then we're going to have a whistle. We're going to get a foul as Hancock's going to go to the line with a chance to shoot. A chance to make two, not really shoot two. And looking at our first quarter, as we get a whistle, we get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as Taylor Hancock's going to go to the line. And Randall, the stat that, as we had the stats brought over to us, one of the stats that just sticks out to me is Snowflake shooting 41.7% in that first quarter to Payson's 10%. Hancock's first free throw is no good. However, a 10-point lead right now for the Lobos, and we're starting to see a little bit of a shift as Hancock misses that first one.
Yeah, I'm not counting the Payson Longhorns, Lady Longhorns out by any stretch of the imagination. These ladies are very talented and they're very skilled, and you know, we are so far into the beginning of this thing. This thing can do whatever it needs to do because we've got tons of basketball yet.
Hancock misses her second. The Longhorns bring it down. Now Whaley's going to drive, and Whaley's going to give it over to Shafe. Shafe's going to shoot it as Sarnowski goes over Hancock to get the rebound, as now it's bounced loose as Sarnowski tries to get it back, but Westover sneaks it away. Westover now gives it to Hips. Hips back to Hancock. It's now Lobos' time on their side of the court as Denhalter gets it. Denhalter dribbles left, dribbles right. She puts it up off the backboard. Good. Raya Denhalter, 2 points for the Snowflake Lobos. Redford to inbound, Redford to Sarnowski. Sarnowski now backed off on by Hancock. 22-9, the Lobos lead, 4 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the second quarter. Sarnowski at the top of the key. Sarnowski telling her team, getting some stuff, looking for a play. Now over to Whaley. Whaley now to the top of the key. Whaley's going to put up a three, and it's going to be no good as it's going to go. No, Denhalter with the block as Denhalter scoops it back. Now to Hancock. Hancock down to Hips, as Hips is going to get whistled for a travel. Folks, I apologize for that. Whaley did not go up for the 3. Denhalter went up and grabbed it, and so it was no good, but it's going to be credited as a block for Denhalter. Here come the Longhorns with the ball. Sarnowski at the 28-foot line midcourt. Now she sends it over to Hatch. Hatch looking. Hatch now drives right, drives left, guarded by Denhalter. Hatch at the free throw line. Now out to, intended for Redford. It's intercepted by Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy Stewart goes down. She's going to get bumped where she's going to go to the line, and she's going to get a couple free throws. As I'm trying to see who we got the foul on. As there's a little bit of a discussion here, we're going to get the foul called. As Stewart's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And Randall, what are they discussing here?
You know, it's hard to say. They could be discussing the seriousness of the penalty, which could be possibly an intentional, because she really wasn't playing the ball.
Media timeout on the floor.
But it's just hard to say, because we are on the opposite side of the court, so we have no idea what really is.
Fans, please welcome to the floor.
What they're discussing and what's going on. So.
As we're going to get a media timeout here, we're going to go ahead and take it, folks, through the Show the Forts presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back. Show the Forge presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com is Kennedy Stewart. After we're sorting this out, as they're going to clear the benches again, as this gives us a chance to go and thank some of our sponsors: Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northline Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, Summit Regional Medical Center, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemer's Glass, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, as well as Show Low Ford. As Randall, I'm not sure why they cleared the bench again, so we don't know what's going on, but now we have a whistle, and so both teams are going to come back on the court. Stewart's at the line to shoot a couple, but normally we're at the scorer's table and we get the advantage of hearing all this, but we're not sure exactly what's going on here, as Stewart's going to go to the line. As the Lobos were 8 of 11 in the first quarter on shooting free throws, the Longhorns 2 of 6. Kennedy Stewart stepping to the line.
Huey, I am just absolutely in question of what is going on.
Well, the one thing I know is Stewart's first free throw is good. The one thing I'm okay with, Randall, we talk about this all the time, is that if they're going to take time, they're going to get the call right, and that's what we wanted them to do. And that's what we're assuming happened, and we're going to go with that right now. Stewart's second free throw is good for the Snowflake Lobos, up 24-9, 3 minutes and 59 seconds left as we are halfway through. Ramirez ends up with the ball now. Ramirez goes over to the far side. She crosses over the time stripe. Now to Hatch. Hatch has it knocked away by Cupper. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to stay and belong to the Payson Longhorns right about half court. As the ball rolls back to the crowd, as we got the Snowflake faithful behind us this evening on what's kind of been unofficially dubbed the home side as Ramirez is going to inbound the ball. Ramirez is going to be guarded by J.C. Ballard, the junior for the Snowflake Lobos. Ramirez over to Sarnowski. Sarnowski catches the ball right in the center circle. Sarnowski being guarded on hips. Now working off the screen by DeShafe. Sarnowski looking. Now Sarnowski falls. DeShafe gets the ball. Back to Ramirez, 11 on the shot clock. Ramirez over to the far side. She goes back to Sarnowski. Sarnowski picking herself up quick off that floor. Now to Hatch, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. As Whaley throws up a prayer, that's going to be no good. Is this going to hit? Actually, it didn't hit any rim, Randall. So that actually goes down as a shot clock violation.
It does. And now sitting here thinking about what happened and what transpired and pulling everybody off, I think we ended up having a media timeout, and that's why they pulled everybody to the benches off the court, because we had a media timeout. I'm thinking that's exactly what happened.
Kennedy Stewart drives the lane, and she is stuffed, rejected. Ball goes out of bounds. It's now going to belong to the Lobos as Denhalter and Hancock check back in for Ballard as well as Westover. Ball goes into Denhalter. Denhalter guarded by DeShafe. Now over to Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy Stewart over on the far side. Now back to Kupfer. Kupfer to Denhalter. Denhalter guarded by DeShafe. Denhalter now to the top of the key. Back to Hips, 15 on the shot clock. As Hips is going to get whistled for a travel. And at my vantage point right there, she took a lot of steps, Randall. She took that extra step. That's going to be a turnover by the Lobos. Ball's going to go back to the Longhorns. 24-9, 2 minutes and 59 seconds left here. Do not count these Longhorns out after last night. From what I can figure and what I've been told, there was a minute 35 left in the third quarter. The Longhorns were down 21 and came back and won 55-53 against the number 1 seeded Chinley Wildcats. As now Whaley brings it over on the far side. Whaley shoots it up. It's going to be gathered in by DeShafe. And it's going to be good, DeShafe. And that's DeShafe's first points of the game as she cuts the lead, 24-11. Lobos on top. Stewart bringing the ball down for the Lobos. Stewart now over to Kupfer. Kupfer dribbles to the top of the key. Now over to Ballard. Ballard back to Stewart. Stewart now to her left. Stewart now to Denhalter in the corner. Denhalter drives. Denhalter middle of the lane. We're getting a whistle. We're going to get a foul as Denhalter's going to fall to the floor. Randall, the aggressiveness of the Lobos by driving this lane is what's causing them to be able to go to the line. Even though that one's out of bounds, their aggressiveness on driving these lanes has made a huge difference in the game.
Absolutely. It's making Payson foul, and that is working to their best advantage.
Kennedy Stewart missing a 3 as now it's gathered in by Hancock. We'll get to Randall's point in a second as Kupfer goes. Kupfer! Reverse layup, good for the Snowflake Lobos.
Beautiful play, Huey. That was an incredible reverse layup on that. And we were talking about earlier, we were saying about don't count the Longhorns out, and you can't count anything out in high school sports.
As Ballard gets a steal for the Lobos uncontested, although Ballard goes up and she misses the layup, but she's going to steal the ball. She's not going to gather it in. Now back to Whaley. As Whaley drives the lane, she's guarded by Kennedy Stewart. Now she's going to throw it away as she's falling out of bounds. Lobos get the ball at the minute 38 left, up 26-11. And there's not much you can do to defend that one that Kupfer drove the baseline on. And that's where the Lobos are making up for the loss of number 24, Rennell West. As now Stewart gets the ball. Stewart dribbling to the middle. Wide open lane. Stewart throws a floater. No good. She gets her own rebound. She puts it back. It's going to be no good. She gets her own rebound again, except Whaley rips it away for the Longhorns. Here come the Longhorns. Sarnowski dribbling. Sarnowski being chased by Hancock. Sarnowski at the top of the key. Over now to Hatch. Hatch back to Ramirez. Ramirez looking now to Whaley. Whaley guarded by Stewart. 20 on the shot clock, minute 4 left. As Hatch is going to put up a 3-pointer. That's going to be no good. Rebound Denhalter as DeShafe reached over. Great job by the big Payson center. Number 12, DeShafe, to not get a foul, but almost have a chance at that rebound. Here's the ball back to Kupfer. Kupfer drive, Kupfer puts it up. That's going to be no good. Rebound is Hatch. Hatch for the Longhorns to Ramirez. Ramirez bringing it down the lane. Ramirez crosses over the time stripe, now brings it to the middle of the 28-foot line. Guarded by Ballard, J.C. Ballard. As now to Sarnowski over to Whaley. Whaley guarded by Stewart at the Snowflake bench. Stewart knocks it out of bounds. It's going to stay and belong to the Lobos, or stay and belong to the Longhorns. That is going to be 19 on the shot clock as Nicole Hips and Haley Westover check in, as well as, I'm trying to see, I believe, McDowell checks in for Hatch as Whaley's going to inbound the ball. Whaley looking. Now inbound to Sarnowski. Sarnowski dribbles, she puts it up. That's going to be off the backboard, no good. She's going to somehow get her own rebound, and she's going to put it back up and in. Hannah Sarnowski with 2. 26-11, Lobos on top. 20 seconds left in the quarter. The shot clock is locked. 20 seconds left in the half. As ball's to Kupfer. Kupfer dribbles it, misses it around. Now to Stewart. Hancock to Stewart. Stewart drives the lane. That's going to go off Stewart's back after she went off the bottom of the rim. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be out on the PAYSON Longhorns and come back to the Snowflake Lobos. Randall, I've never seen a player hit the bottom of the rim and have it go off their back before.
Yeah, no, that was kind of different. It was kind of a different scenario, but I just want to correct that last 2 points that the Longhorns made it 13-26. So we have a 13-point differential on this, and
as Haley Westover gets the inbound from Hips, and it's going to be no good, but we're going to whistle, we're going to get a rebound. It's going to belong to the Lobos with 0.7 seconds left, and if you're the Lobos, you got to catch and throw right here. As we're going to go to halftime, we're going to go and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show, but we're going to have a nice catch and throw, as that's going to be no good. It's going to be on the floor. It is halftime, folks, with the score of 26-13 in favor of the Snowflake Lobos. We're going to come back and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
We have President's Day pricing all month long here at Horn Auto Center. And great deals like this Chevy Silverado with up to $10,850 off and 2.4% APR. Or this Chevy Colorado. All 2024 Colorados have up to $5,100 off and 1.9% APR on approved credit. So come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learning new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
This is iTalk 1067's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com, and that brings us to our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. As for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor store south of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. And as we're waiting for our live stats to come in, Randall, I got to get your thoughts on the first half.
Once again,
I didn't catch you. I'm sorry, Huey. I was involved in what was going on the floor.
I was just trying to get your thoughts on the first half.
The first half, I thought was a great ball game. It's going really, really well. The Snowflake Lobos look like they have control of this. However, in the second quarter, they look like they were kind of throwing their shots up in the air. They need to come back and they need to settle back down. And that was kind of with the Payson Longhorns. In the first quarter, they were kind of sporadic. Nothing was dropping for them, but they kind of settled into what they're good with in their basketball program and what they've got going for them. And they starting to break that and fill in that gap of the point spread. So at this point, I think it's in anybody's game. We're not taking nobody out of this thing, but it's a great ball game, and I think it's just going to get better.
Well, sometimes when you have a lead, the 26-13 lead, and you doubled up a team, it's hard sometimes, in my opinion, to go into the locker room and make adjustments. But we know Coach Brogan. We've known him for a long time. He's actually one of our football broadcasters here for iTalk. And when I know Coach Brogan, he is going to make some adjustments. However, if you're Payson, you can wipe the slate clean and you can start doing anything. And just like we saw last night with the Longhorns, when you have nothing to lose, that is when you can absolutely be the most dangerous.
Absolutely. And I think this is what's going to happen. And this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody. But I think what's going to happen is I think the Payson Longhorns, they're going to stay in this thing, but I think the Snowflake Lobos are just going to really buckle down, and I think they're just going to get that point spread a little bit open further, and I think it's going to work out for the Snowflake Lobos.
Looking at our stats from the first half, the stat that sticks out to me is Snowflake 11 for 15 from the line, and that's a 73% on the game. They're also field goal percentage, they're shooting almost 27%, whereas Payson is also, they're actually shooting higher, 27.8%. So both teams relatively shooting, although Payson does have the edge. The story of the game, though, is going to be that first quarter with Snowflake putting up 19. As we look at some of the stats here, as Payson has hit 1 3, Snowflake's hit 1 3. And so pretty much it's anybody's game right now on paper. Nothing but the turnovers, Payson with 14, Snowflake with 9. And we said it before, and it's been one of our themes all year, is the team that wins the turnover battle will win the ball game. As we have a lot to look for in this second half, as Snowflake just has to maintain this lead, but they're going to have to play to win and not to lose. As folks, we're going to go back and we're going to finish our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show, but we're going to go ahead and take a break. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
This has been iTalk 1067.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we continue our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor store south of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. As Randall, we looked over the halftime stats at our break, and we had pointed out that Payson had 14 turnovers, Snowflake had 9. And when you look at that, that's not huge. However, Snowflake has taken those 9 turnovers and had 12 points off of them, where Payson has had 3 off of those 9. And that's the difference in the ball game right there.
It is, and they're going to have to control those turnovers. Turnovers can absolutely kill you, and I'm not saying anything that people don't already know, but I'm just emphasizing, if they start capitalizing on mistakes, it can change the sway of a ball game in the blink of an eye.
Now, Randall, if you're Coach Davis in the Payson Longhorn locker room, and you've got a very talented roster, you had a very big comeback win last night, that's something you can ride. However, what adjustment are you making to combat Snowflake? Is it not turning it over? Is it being more controlling? Or is it, hey, guys, just start loosening up and getting the ball in the hole and we're going to win this game?
I think a lot of it is settling down, getting the nerves out of their system, out of their stomach, and just kind of settling down into this and let them get to play the game that they know how to play. Now, the other side to this too is they're going to have to do a couple things. Yes, turnovers are a problem. You've got to control the turnovers on this. There's number one. Number two, the other thing with the girls is they might want to put a little bit more pressure on Stewart, because Stewart is extraordinarily well known for her three-point shots. So as long as if they leave her open on those three-point shots, she can become very, very dangerous for the Longhorns.
And you know, looking down, Redford has 3 fouls, Sarnowski has 3 fouls, Whaley has 2, and DeShafe has 2, and that's Payson's starting group right there. So if the Lobos are going to continue to drive that lane, Payson's going to have to do something to stop and drop and protect them a little bit. So if you're a Lobo fan, you want more of the same. If you're a Longhorn fan, you're just going to sit back and say, hey, we did it last night, we're going to do it again. So folks, we get ready to bring you second half action. We are going to conclude our Honda Ski and Outdoor Store halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. This is Sholo Fort's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
This has been iTalk 1067's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
We have President's Day pricing all month long here at Horn Auto Center. And great deals like this Chevy Silverado with up to $10,850 off and 2.4% APR. Or this Chevy Colorado. All 2024 Colorados have up to $5,100 off and 1.9% APR on approved credit. So come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back, folks. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we get set to bring you second half action here from Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum, nicknamed for many years as the Madhouse on McDowell, as the unique venue hosting high school state championships the last few years here in the state of Arizona for the AIA. Randall, I absolutely like the venue. I know it has its age to it. I know it has, but there's some nostalgia with being in here, and us being lucky enough as media to go under quote-unquote the bowels of the stadium, and you look to your left and you look to your right and you say, you know, Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson graced these halls at one time. We're sitting where legendary broadcaster Al McCoy called many games for the Phoenix Suns, and it's just kind of a cool atmosphere to be at, and we absolutely love it. As the Longhorns own the alternating possession, they're going to get set to bring in the ball as Ramirez is going to bring in the ball. The Lobos up 26-13 on the Longhorns as now goes into Sarnowski. Sarnowski's going to be guarded by Hancock. She's going to bring it over the time stripe. Sarnowski now back to DeShape. DeShape goes to her right. Now gives it back to Whaley. Whaley looking. Now gives it to Ramirez. Ramirez guarded by Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy comes up, steps on Ramirez. Now Ramirez has a drive to the lane. She's going to dish it to DeShape. It's going to be stolen by Taylor Hancock, number 4 for the Snowflake Lobos. As now Hancock's bringing down the ball. Whaley picks her up at half court. Hancock brings it over the time strike. Nearly knocked away on a pass to Kennedy Stewart. Stewart gathers it in now over to Hips. Hips at the 28-foot line, now goes to her right in front of her bench. Hips dribbles in front of her bench, tries to dribble the baseline. That's going to be no good. Hips has it now to Denhalter. Denhalter looking. Now Denhalter backs up, puts up an air ball 3-point. That's going to be saved by Kupfer to Stewart. Stewart's going to put up a 3-point shot. That is a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point shot. The senior Kennedy Stewart of the Snowflake Lobos.
And that's exactly what I was just talking about when we were talking during halftime. If Payson is going to want to climb back out of this thing, they are going to have to put some pressure on Stewart.
As Whaley drives the lane after a pass, and Whaley's going to put it up and in, and that was a great pass by Whaley, putting it up and in for 2 points. Lobos with the ball, 29-15, 6 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. Hancock looking, now guarded by Whaley. Now Hancock drives the lane over to Kupfer. Kupfer travels as soon as she gets the ball. She takes a step and then takes another step, puts the ball in the court. Obvious travel by the junior of the Lobos. Ramirez now brings it to Sarnowski. Now Sarnowski bringing it up over to DeShape. DeShape at the 28-foot line in the middle of the court. Now Dover's over to her left. Gives it back into Redford. Redford puts it up. Redford's going to put it up and in for the Payson Longhorns. They are not done. They are not out as they claw back into this one. Down 29-17. Hancock with the ball. Hancock now dribbles. Hancock over to the free throw line. Now dishes it to Kupfer. Kupfer back over to Hips. Hips looking. Now Hips over to Hancock. 18 on the shot clock. Inside to Denhalter. Denhalter guarded by DeShape. DeShape knocks it off with the block, and that's going to be no good. Here come the Payson Longhorns. Sarnowski with the ball. Payson doing a very good job of screening off and driving that lane, as they're going to do the same here. Sarnowski going to drive. She's going to be contested by Kupfer. It's off, no good. Rebounded by DeShape. DeShape puts it up, and that's 2 points for DeShape, as that cuts it to a 10-point lead for the Lobos. Ball's now inbounded to Stewart. Stewart brings it back out, now to the top of the key, over to Hancock. Hancock looking to work off the screen. It's going to be no good, as she gets stopped by Whaley. Back to Hips, 16 on the shot clock, over to Denhalter. Denhalter now drives to her left, guarded by DeShape, over to Kupfer. Kupfer's going to put up a three. That's going to be a three-point Comfort Fit Dentures for Bryn Kupfer, the junior of the Snowflake Lobos. And here comes Sarnowski back down in the other court, pushing it down into DeShape. DeShape up. That's going to be good for Grace DeShape.
What
2
a
points for the Payson Longhorns.
Beautiful pass.
32-21. Lobos on top by 11. Stewart now has the ball over to Kupfer. Kupfer now goes in, guarded by Ramirez. Now she throws it away, gathered in by Whaley. Whaley back to Sarnowski. Sarnowski dribbles over the time stripe, over to DeShape, and it's going to be thrown out of bounds, and that's going to hit no one. No, they're going to say that Hips came over the middle and got that ball and knocked it out of bounds, so it's going to stay and belong to the Longhorns. 29 seconds on the shot clock, 4 minutes and 42 seconds left. Westover of the Lobos checking in for Bryn Kupfer. Redford inbounding to Whaley. Whaley, that's going to be no good. Rebound Stewart as she puts up a three-point shot. Stewart guarded by Ramirez. Now picked up by Redford. Stewart goes in and out over on the near side. Over in the corner, back to Hancock. Hancock has it knocked away. There's a scramble for the ball. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a jump ball, and that's going to go to the Snowflake Lobos. As Stewart's going to get the ball out of bounds, she's going to inbound the ball. As the Iron Man award of the game is going to go to Hannah Sarnowski, and she has played every minute of this game. Stewart inbounds the ball to Hips, sends it to the backcourt. Now Hips brings it over the time stripe, trying to work off a screen from Hancock. Now to Denhalter. Denhalter guarded by DeShape. Denhalter drive. Denhalter puts in an errant shot. That's going to be no good. DeShape kicks the rebound, knocks it to Ramirez. Now Ramirez gives it back to Sarnowski. Here come the Longhorns, a chance to cut this to single digits. Sarnowski working off middle. Now it's no good. She goes out to Ramirez. Ramirez, it's stolen by Stewart. Intended for Ramirez. Forward to Denhalter. Denhalter drives the lane. That's going to be good. Raya Denhalter, 2 points. As we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it, folks. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com, as we had a timeout taken as the Snowflake Lobos up big here in the third quarter with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left in this quarter, as Payson is going to inbound the ball underneath as they are down in this quarter. Payson brings Ramirez, Sarnowski, DeShape, Redford, and Whaley Down 34-21 as Taylor Hancock gets the inbound and now gives it back to Stewart as the Lobos get another turnover. As we're going to get a three-point shot put up by Nicole Hips. That's going to be no good. Rebound to Shape. DeShape over to Sarnowski. Sarnowski dribbles it to the middle. Now over to DeShape. DeShape goes to her left. Now to Redford. Redford drives a wide open lane. It's going to be blocked, and we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul, and that's going to go on the Snowflake Lobos. As I thought there was a little contact there, as the officials caught that, that's going to put Redford at the line to shoot a couple. Redford, so far in the game, has not put up any free throws. Payson is a team 2 for 7 from the line. Redford's first one is good. 34-22, Lobos on top, 3 minutes and 32 seconds left here in the third quarter. Redford takes her dribble, puts it up. That one is going to be no good off the front of the iron. Rebound Westover of the Lobos. Westover now to Hips, now to Stewart. As Stewart doing the ball handling duties for the Lobos this half, the ball, she gets a wet screen from Westover she's trying to work off of. Guarded by Sarnowski as we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a travel. And that's another turnover on Nicole Hips as the senior struggling a little bit in this quarter to get her feet under her. As now Payson with the ball, a chance to cut it to single digits. Ramirez now with a pass from Redford back. Ramirez stops mid-court at the 28-foot line. We're going to need a whistle. We're going to need a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it, folks, to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. As the Payson Longhorns are set to inbound the ball in front of their own bench after they called timeout to avoid a possession arrow, as Sarnowski is going to get it way in the backcourt with 24 seconds on the shot clock. Sarnowski now over to DeShape. DeShape dribbles to the middle, gives it to Whaley. Whaley is three-point shooter. Whaley puts it in, gives it to DeShape. DeShape puts it up, and that's going to be no good. However, we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get Denhalter with her third personal foul, and that's going to be huge if you're the Lobos. Lobos up 34-22. However, that is going to be Denhalter's third personal foul, as DeShape, a very good free throw shooter, goes to the line to shoot a couple. These will be her first free throws of the game. DeShape's first one is off the back of the iron, no good. Given some encouragement from her teammates. DeShape steps up. DeShape, the senior of the Payson Longhorns, at the line. Taking her time, looks at her dribble. She puts it up. The second one is no good. Rebound is Raya Denhalter of the Lobos. Denhalter goes, gives it back. Stewart now has it. Stewart over to Hips. Hips now over to Denhalter, looking. Denhalter now goes to her left, her right. Back, she looks for Hancock. Hancock over on the near side of her bench. Hancock drives with DeShape, and we're going to whistle. We're going to get a travel. As she traveled, as she tried to do a jump stop on DeShape.
I'm not sure on that travel.
We didn't get a good advantage of it.
No, we didn't. And I think she might have drug her pivot foot. And
that's exactly what I was thinking too. Ramirez with the ball now. Ramirez over to DeShape. Ramirez brings it over now to DeShape. And it's going to be stolen by Hips as the pass is intended for Redford, now given to Hips as Hips is going to go. Hips is going to put up. That's going to be good. Nicole Hips for 2 points for the Snowflake Lobos. Lobos up 36-22, 2 minutes and 8 seconds left here in the third quarter. Redford bringing the ball down. Redford guarded by Hips. Over to Whaley, guarded by Denhalter. Whaley drives the lane. Whaley's going to put it up and in. That's going to be no good. Rebound to DeShape. DeShape now puts it up. It's no good. DeShape gets her own rebound. She's guarded by Westover. DeShape puts it up. That's going to be a whistle, and that is going to be a foul on Westover. DeShape's going to go to the line to shoot another 2 free throws. As I thought there had to be some kind of contact in there, knowing how these girls play inside. And kudos to the Payson Longhorns for trying to get that one in there. Great job by DeShape. DeShape getting her own rebound 3 times and finally getting fouled, going to the line with a chance to cut this lead. 36-22, minute 53 left in the third quarter. DeShave's first free throw is good. 36-23.
But again, we cannot scratch the Lady Longhorns on this.
If Whaley gets hot, if DeShave inside, if they screen and get these easy drives and they play defense the way they're capable of, absolutely. DeShave hits her second one. 36-24. Lead is now 12. As now Payson puts on the pressure. As now Hancock over to Denhalter. Denhalter scoots. Now Denhalter's going to drive. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a travel. And that is a major turnover for the Lobos because the Longhorns now, with a three-point shot or play, have a chance to cut it to single-digit lead. 36-24. Lobos on top. Minute 45 left here in the third quarter. Sarnowski brings over the ball. Sarnowski's going to be picked up by Hancock as they're looking to clear the lane and drive it, and that's going to be intended for Ramirez, stolen by Kennedy Stewart. Kennedy Stewart's going to go down. She's going to put up a layup for 2 points for the Snowflake Lobos. Kennedy Stewart, now the rebound inbound, Ramirez to Sarnowski. Sarnowski pushes it forward. Sarnowski looking for the mismatch of Westover against DeShave. Now back out to Whaley. Whaley, a dangerous three-point shooter for the Longhorns as she's guarded by Denhalter. Whaley's going to drive. Whaley's going to get in. Open shot. That's going to be good as Whaley's going to hit it with a right-handed floater and put it in as it's going to be 38-26. 12-point lead for the Lobos. Minute 6 left here in the third quarter. As Hancock looking. Hancock over to Denhalter. Denhalter now drives to the middle of the court. Now to the free throw line. She turns on DeShave. As she puts it up, that's going to be no good. Ball's going to go out of bounds. And Randall, I thought there was a little bit of a slide step there and it went out of bounds.
Yeah, you know, I think it was just more of a loss of possession, but I don't know. And here comes a three-point.
And that's a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer. As the ball was inbounded, Denhalter got the ball on the three-point line, was looking to drive. She stepped back and hit it. As now we're going to get Redford shooting a three, and that's going to be good for Redford. A Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer. And we match three-pointer for three-pointer. 41-29, 30 seconds left. Shot clock is off this quarter. As here comes Stewart. Stewart over to Denhalter. Denhalter inside to Hips. Hips reverse. No good. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Longhorns as Hancock knocked it out of bounds. Payson with a chance to cut it to a single-digit lead here with 21.3 seconds left. Ramirez to inbound. Ramirez to Sarnowski. Sarnowski brings up the ball. Hancock backs off over half court. Sarnowski crosses over the time stripe. 14 seconds left. Payson looking for the single shot as they're content to go in with at least a double digit, if not a digit lead, as Sarnowski's going to go. Now Sarnowski's going to drive against Westover. Looking left, looking right. Whaley, three-point shot, no good. Rebound, Stewart, and that's the end of the quarter. We're going to take a break, folks. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
We have President's Day pricing all month long here at Horn Auto Center. And great deals like this Chevy Silverado with up to $10,850 off and 2.4% APR. Or this Chevy Colorado. All 2024 Colorados have up to $5,100 off and 1.9% APR on approved credit. So come on down to Horn Auto Center, the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back, everybody. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Snowflake Lobos start the fourth quarter with a 12-point lead on the Payson Longhorns. However, it ain't over until that buzzer goes off, and Payson knows that all too well. That's what brought him to this game. If you're Coach Brogan's team, you have to play to win. You cannot play not to lose. If you're Payson, you have nothing to lose. Both these teams, the season's over. I look for Payson, Randall, to start throwing up some threes and playing some monster defense here to get back in this ball game. They're in this ball game as they put 16 points up in the third quarter over the Lobos 15. The Lobos doing it on some very crafty three-point shooting as both teams elect to go with their starters for the start of the fourth quarter as Ramirez is going to inbound. Sarnowski gets it. And the clock starts. 7:57 left. Lobos up 41-29 as it goes to Ramirez. Ramirez drives the lane. That's going to be no good. Rebound is Denhalter as Ramirez had a wide open look at the lane and wasn't able to capitalize. Here come the Lobos. Stewart looking as Payson plays some crafty defense getting inside. Now to Hips. Hips guarded by Ramirez inside to Stewart. Stewart now brings it back out. Stewart now guarded by Whaley. Stewart looking, 16 on the shot clock, over to Hancock. Hancock now drives. She's at the free throw line. Puts up a jumper off the glass. No good. Rebound Sarnowski. Payson pushing it. Sarnowski pushing it down the court. Has Redford in the corner but doesn't go there. Looking throw it in. Now she does go to Redford. Redford fakes. Now Redford drives, puts it up and in. That's going to be no good. And that's going to be DeShafe. Kicks it. Rebound back out to Sarnowski. That's going to be no good. As the Lobos get the rebound, Denhalter with the ball. Denhalter almost with the travel there. Now she gives it to Hancock over to Stewart. Stewart inside to Westover. Westover puts it on the court, now puts it up and in. That's going to be no good. Air ball from underneath. Sarnowski gets it, pushes the ball. 6:49 left. Lobos up 41-29. Ball goes out of bounds and it goes off the hands of, I believe that was Redford, and it's going to go out of bounds and belong to the Snowflake Lobos as Payson set to put on the full court pressure, although the Lobos have done a good job of bringing that through. As Westover's going to go out of the game, Kupfer's going to check back in. Hips is going to inbound for the Snowflake Lobos.
And this is what's going to make Payson very, very dangerous here, is these little mistakes and the turnovers. It's going to make Payson very, very strong to begin.
As Denhalter goes, Denhalter puts it off the back of the iron, and it's going to go to Kupfer. Kupfer's going to put up. That's going to be no good. Ramirez with the rebound. Sarnowski with the ball. Sarnowski brings it up, crosses over the time stripe. 30 seconds on the shot clock, 6 minutes and 27 seconds left. 41-29, Lobos lead. As it goes to Ramirez, we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it, folks. It's Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back. Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Snowflake Lobos. No, the Longhorns are going to get the ball right in front of their own bench. That's what I was thinking. The possession arrow does belong to the Snowflake Lobos. As we get our third quarter stats here, and in the third quarter, Payson shot 54%. Snowflake also shot 54%. Snowflake shooting 35 from the game as there goes an inbound ball to DeShafe. DeShafe puts it up and in. It's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be by Hips. As Payson shooting 37% on the game, the Lobos shooting 35% on the game. But again, Randall, it's those points off turnovers. As Stewart gets the ball, we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. Coach Brogan not liking what he's seeing. This is Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back, Show LaForge's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. As Coach Mike Brogan not liking the situation and calling a timeout, as the Lobos now are going to get the ball back with only 24 seconds on the shot clock. As Nicole Hips is going to inbound. Hips looking. Now she gives it to Denhall to the corner, who gives it right back to Hips. Now over to Stewart. Stewart just inside the mid-line circle. As now to Hips to Kupfer. We're going to get a three-point shot. Kupfer kicks it out to Denhall. That's going to be no good. Taylor Hancock with the rebound. She puts it back up. It's no good. Rebound is by Redford. Now here come the Longhorns. A chance to cut that lead. Again as Redford backs. Now to Sarnowski. Sarnowski left, right. Payson has not led in this game, and I just gave them a little bit of a shot to get back in this one with the broadcaster's curse. As the broadcaster's curse, I hope I didn't give that to the Lobos right there, as the Lobos for 24 minutes have led this ball game of their, actually it's, the stat just came off. So it's actually almost 25 as Ramirez gets the ball in the inbound. Ramirez puts it up. That's going to be no good. Rebound Denhalter. As Denhalter cautiously takes 2 steps, then gives it back to Hancock. Hancock guarded by Whaley. Over now to Stewart. Back to Denhalter. Now back to Stewart. Stewart over on the near side. Now Stewart going to Hancock at the top of the key at the 28-foot line. Back to Stewart. Now to Hips. Hips in the corner. Hips is going to take a step. She's going to drive. She's going to put up a shot. That's going to be no good. To Schaaf for the Longhorns. Rebound gives it to Sarnowski. Neither team yet to score in this quarter. With 4 minutes and 52 seconds left, Sarnowski's going to drive. She's going to put it up. And DeShaaf's going to rebound. DeShaaf's going to put up. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. DeShaaf's going to go to the line with a chance to cut this lead. 4 minutes and 46 seconds left. 41-29. The Snowflake Lobos on top. DeShaaf, a good free throw shooter, going to the line.
DeShaaf shooting 2.
DeShaaf's first one is good. That cuts the lead to 11. And Randall, 2 more three-pointers or an exchange, a steal, a fast break. Payson is not only back in this game, they have a chance to pull ahead.
Absolutely. And this is exactly what happened yesterday. The Payson Longhorns, they came out, they were behind, and somewhere they found what they were looking for, and they were right back in it and then ended up winning. They could have the same outcome as it happened yesterday.
DeShaaf is going to be whistled for a foul. Excuse me, they're going to call that on Whaley. I believe that's Whaley's 4th. As now the Lobos are going to inbound, and they're going to get a pressure by the Longhorns. As now Hancock ends up with it. Hancock's going to bring it over the time stripe. She's guarded by Redford. Now Hancock trying to work off a screen from Westover. As now to Hips in the corner. Inside to Westover. Westover takes a dribble. She puts it up. That's going to be good. Haley Westover. 2 points for the Snowflake Lobos. Here comes Sarnowski. Sarnowski way over the top of the Schaaf, and it's going to go out of bounds. 43-30. The Lobos on top by 13. With 4 minutes and 18 seconds left, however, the Payson is going to bring up this pressure. Coach Davis bringing up his whole team to give the pressure. As Westover is going to get the inbound back to Stewart. Stewart's going to throw it in the middle to Hips. Hips is going to reverse pivot out of the press. She's going to throw to Westover, who wasn't looking for the ball. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to belong to the Payson Longhorns, down 13. A chance to cut this one, like I've said. Last down. Appreciate all you listening. We appreciate all our sponsors bringing us this game. Stay tuned for the post-game show, folks. We have our Deemer's Glass Man of the Game, our Horn Auto Center Drive of the Game, and our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass Intent Player of the Game. As now here's Ramirez for the Longhorns. Ramirez puts it up. It's an air ball over the top, about a 7-foot jumper. That's going to be no, it's going to go to Hips. Hips is going to send it to Stewart. Stewart's going to bring it across. Stewart guarded by Ramirez, inside to Westover. Westover puts the ball in the court. She puts up a shot. It's going to be no good. However, Westover's going to go to the line to shoot, and Coach Mike Brogan, Randall, I look at him, and that is about as nervous as I've ever seen that man.
You would almost think he is sweating bullets right now.
He is sweating bullets right now. I have never seen this out of Coach Mike Brogan. He's he's still coaching, obviously, but he is sitting there. And what I think this is doing is Westover makes her first one, Randall, is this is telling his team, now's not the time. We're going to coach. We're going to keep doing. We're going to do our thing. I don't see Snowflake sending up much, as Ramirez is going to check out of the game. As Westover makes her first one, he gives the Lobos a 14-point lead.
I want you to take a quick gander at his hands. He's got the white knuckle syndrome.
He does have the white knuckles. As Westover makes her second one. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get immediate timeout, folks. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Welcome back, everybody. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Snowflake Lobos up big on the Payson Longhorns with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And that timeout taken, it is going to be Payson's ball underneath their own basket. And if you're the Lobos, you have to keep playing your game. If you're Payson, you've come this far, you had last night, you've got nothing to lose. Here come the Longhorns. Sarnowski brings it over the time stripe. 28-foot line, top of the key. She dribbles to her left, guarded by Hancock. She now goes right. Denhalter picking her up. That's going to be a three-point shot. That's going to be no good. Rebound. Haley Westover of the Snowflake Lobos, the senior. She gives it right back to Nicole Hips. Kennedy Stewart with the ball. Now back to Hancock. Lobos going to need to get it over this time stripe as Kennedy pushes it, gets it over. As we get a whistle, we get a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it to, folks. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back, everybody. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com, as we'd like to give a little bit of a shout out here. The shop teacher from Snowflake High School, the construction tech teacher, tuning in today to this broadcast. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to travel on Hancock, and that's going to go back to the Payson Longhorns. We appreciate Mr. Daniel Prestwich watching this broadcast, one of the Lobo faithful. We know he and his family enjoy these iTalk broadcasts, and we are thankful for them tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. Here comes Payson. Sarnowski over to the far side, now back to the middle. Sarnowski dribbling. Now she goes, throws it to DeShafe. DeShafe now back to McDowell. Three-point Comfort Fit Dentures, and the Longhorns just like that are back in this ball game, down 44-33. As the ball goes in to Stewart, now to Denhalter, forward across the time stripe. Denhalter looks, now gives it back to Stewart, now to Hancock. 2 minutes and 44 seconds left, 27 on the shot clock. Now to Hips. Hips inside to Westover. Westover bumps, puts it up. That's going to be good. Haley Westover, 2 points. And we had a little bit of bumping and shoving underneath, but Randall is the official. We have both agreed that was a great no call. As Sarnowski's going to drive, she's going to put him in. It's going to be no good. Rebound is Westover again, and Westover wants to be the Demers glass man of the game yet again, as she was in our Monument Valley game. Here comes Stewart. Stewart brings it forward. Now back to Hancock. Hancock's 28-foot line. Now we're in the middle. Now into Westover. Westover at the free throw line. Looking to Hancock, to Stewart. Over to Hips.
You know, Huey, in this particular situation, back in the old days when we didn't have a shot clock, you'd want to bring that ball out, clear out here to the time stripe, and
as we're going to get a steal by Whaley off Kennedy Stewart, and she goes down. And Kennedy Stewart, in a last-ditch effort, reached out and was able to get all ball and knock it out of bounds. So Payson with a chance to get the ball back as Ramirez is going to check in. Ramirez is going to check in for Redford. And Ramirez done most of the inbounding duties for this year. 46-33, Snowflake on top, minute 51 left. Ramirez sends the ball, and that's going to be knocked out. And now it's going to go to the Snowflake Lobos, as they're going to say that went off the hands of Whaley and is going to fall as the Lobos get the ball back, but they're going to be pressured as Hancock gets doubled down underneath. She gets the inbound from Stewart. Now back to Stewart, now over to Hips. Hips is going to dribble out, crossover. She's going to give it to Denhalter, back to Hancock. Hancock over on the far side to Stewart, right at the 28-foot line on the far side, now to Westover. Westover gets it. We're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul, and they're going to call that on, I believe they're going to call that on Whaley. Now, Randall, you're going to have to walk us through that one because I'm not sure what happened.
Well, if you can hear what the Payson Longhorns are doing, they're not loving that call at all. But what has happened is she was right behind her. And had a hold of her, and as she moved back, she fell in the process. And the fans were thinking that she fell on her own, but she absolutely had every part of that fall.
As Hips gets it to Denhalter on the inbound, and Denhalter puts it right back up and in. And here goes the ball to Payson. And I think at this point we're going to get some technical fouls starting to dish out, as the Payson coaching staff is not too pleased with the way things are going today, as now it is the Lobos ball. That is inbounded from Stewart to Hips to Denhalter. Denhalter, as we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul, and I think that might be Whaley's fifth.
Fifth foul, yep.
And we don't have that officially, as they are going to call it on 13. That is her fifth personal. As minute 11 left, Lobos up 48-33 on the Payson Longhorns, as Whaley's going to check out of the game. And that does eliminate one of the three-point shooting threats, as Whaley, a very good three-point shooter. As now Hancock's going to inbound the ball. Hancock looking for Stewart, now back to Stewart. Over on the opposite end of the court, into the backcourt. Now Stewart throws it over to Hips. Hips back to Stewart at the 28-foot line, top of the key. Over to Hancock, to Denhalter. To Hancock, back to Hips over on the far side, now to Stewart. Stewart being guarded by Redford, now to Denhalter. Back to Hancock. As Taylor now throws to Kennedy Stewart over on the far side to Hips. Hips is going to travel again, as now Coach Brogan is putting in, as we see Josie Clare, J.C. Ballard, A.J. Yarn, Harley Nichols, and Claire Reedhead, as they are up 15 with 45 seconds left, as the Snowflake Lobos feeling comfortable enough that they are going to be state champions. Folks, we got a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Demers Glass in Lakeside. Demers Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Demers 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back. Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Payson Longhorns. Sarnowski gets the ball, brings it, pushes it to the court, drives the middle lane. She's going to be whistled and have a foul on her, and she's going to go to the line. With 37.5 seconds left, the Snowflake Lobos up 48-33 on the Payson Longhorns. Sarnowski at the line. Sarnowski's first free throw is good for the Longhorns. That cuts the lead to 14. Here's Sarnowski's second free throw. It is good. Sarnowski making both of them 12-point lead as Ballard inbounds the ball to Claire. Over to Nichols. Nichols struggles with it, brings it across. We're going to get a whistle. We're getting a blocking foul on the Payson Longhorns. That is going to be their 15th foul, and I believe Harley Nichols is going to go to the line to shoot a couple of shots. 48-35 here, 13-point lead for the Snowflake Lobos, 31.6 seconds left. And if you're a Snowflake Lobo fan, you can start to celebrate a little easier. The last time Snowflake has a basketball title in the trophy case was 10 years ago in 2015, I believe. And that was Coach Andy Wood and his boys team defeating Combs over at the Glendale Arena for that state championship. So for Coach Mike Brogan, this is huge. As Nichols puts up her second free throw, it is no good. Rebound is Ramirez. Ramirez is Sarnowski. Sarnowski going to push it forward. In forward to McDowell. McDowell puts it up. That's going to be good. Tatum McDowell, 2 points. 22 seconds left. 48-37. Lobos on top. As we're getting to whistle, we're going to get the ball to the court. As McDowell's going to get it back. As it's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to go to the Lobos. As Sarnowski let that go, almost being sure. As she let it go and it falls forward, as Claire, Yarn, and Nichols are going to check out of the game. They did get a play in a state title game. That is very good. As now J.C. Ballard brings it over to Stewart. Stewart now looking for Reedhead. Reedhead dribbles back and forth now to Stewart. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And your Snowflake Lobos are your 2025 3A state champions. Congratulations to Mike Brogan. Congratulations to the Lobos. You are the 3A state champions of 2025. Congratulations to them. Our final, 49-37. The Lobos on top. Congratulations to that squad.
It was an absolute amazing ball game. Amazing ball games. The Longhorns, do not count them out. They were 12 points behind. They just were in a hole that they just could not dig themselves out of, unfortunately.
Randall, it was that first quarter. 19-4 was our score at the end of the first quarter. And after that, the Lobos never looked back. They end up winning by basically the difference in that first quarter. As Randall, when you look at the score by quarters, it's almost equal. As Payson did get back a little bit, but that first quarter was the difference in the ball game, as well as the points off turnovers. Snowflake with a lot of points off turnovers, and we're going to get our final stats. And congratulations to the Snowflake Lobos. Now, on a personal note, I've been teaching at Snowflake High School 20 years, and state championships do not come often. And to watch them go through and to watch groups of kids, I have a daughter that's a senior, and she has been with a lot of these girls, and so I've watched them grow up. I've watched them, particularly number 10, Nicole Hips. Congratulations to the Lobos. Congratulations to Coach Mike Brogan, who's a friend of mine. Congratulations to all the Lobos, particularly, like I said, Nicole Hips, and all these seniors. Kennedy Stewart. I've known her family for a lot of years, just good people, so congratulations to them, and I don't want to leave any of them out. I've had some of them in class. I have some of them in class. I'll see them on Monday morning, and so congratulations to them, and we're going to try to get someone on the broadcast, but there's a lot of fanfare that these girls deserve to be a part of, so we're going to go ahead and go with that.
And, you know, let's touch base with the Payson Longhorns. This was not an easy path to get here by any stretch of the imagination. The Payson Longhorns, they fought hard throughout all the season. They got here, and they just fell short. And unfortunately, there always has to be someone who loses the ball game, Huey, and it's unfortunate.
Let's talk about this Payson team, Randall. They did it with size, they did it with speed, they did it with shooting. They went as a 5th seed and clawed their way to the championship game. Nothing to be ashamed of by them. No. Yes, they came up short in this game, but amazing run. They're going to miss some amazing seniors, but congratulations. It's one of the communities we like, one of the communities you and I both know really well. We both know the sports programs. We know some of their coaches. We consider them friends. Congratulations to the Payson Longhorns for getting here and doing what they do. But folks, we have to go to our post-game show. The first thing we got to award is our Deemer's Glass man of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888-GLASSMAN. And our Deemer's Glass man of the game, we're going to do a co-glass man of the game, is going to be Bryn Kupfer and Haley Westover stepping in those filling those big shoes of Rennell West and not missing a beat. So our glass men, our glass women of the game is going to be Bryn Kupfer and Haley Westover. Congratulations to them. The Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy Cadillac and GMC store that saves you more. That drive of the game is going to be the first quarter of the Snowflake Lobos, outscoring the Payson Longhorns 19-4 as the Lobos hoist the gold ball. And congratulations to them. Congratulations to Snowflake High School Athletic Director Kevin Standerfer as they look at their crowd and they point up number one, and they are very happy as a lot of these girls will put on the track spikes on Monday and they're going to try to go for a track state title. So our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy Cadillac and GMC store that saves you more, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. And our player of the game today is going to be a co-player of the game. Number 3, Kennedy Stewart, number 10, Nicole Hips. 2 young ladies that I have watched grow up. Amazing young ladies. Congratulations to them. You are our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint players of the game. For myself, Aaron Hewish, for Mel West, our producer, for Jeff Lone Tree, our cameraman, for Mel, our producer again, Randall, our color commentary, this has been, but you know what, congratulations to Snowflake Lobos, you're 3A state champions. Congratulations to them. This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the express written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.